the podcast where sin is poor.
Yeah.
In the game. Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk Destiny and our experiences in the game. We spotlight different guests and communities and are a place to talk about uplifting experiences that we have had. We have a very special guest tonight, Sin. How are you?
I thought you were going to introduce Craig, but I'm pretty good. After my long week.
Or is Craig our guest?
Maybe both. Maybe both. But yeah, we had a long week of work. And we pushed off recording for a couple days to cram in some awesome gaming, such as the Solstice of Heroes.
Yeah, this is nice. We have that to talk about in this week at Bungie and the other article that came out. So lots of news right now. We'll get into that. I think it'll be a little more news heavy, but we'll also still talk about our experiences in the game. So yeah, it's just us two tonight. No additional guests, but we have some great people lined up as always. Some very exciting people we're happy to have on. So coming up soon. So stay tuned.
Coming to a podcast near you.
Near you, yes. So since we've talked, there's been, as always, we know that there's been moments of triumph going on, and then this week also started the Summer Solstice event with the European Aerial Zone new activity, and of course the armor, as we're used to.
Armor 2.0.
Armor 2.0. But of course, all the things you need to do for the armor is pretty much the same as last year. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. Lots of strikes, lots of Crucible, lots of public events, just lots of stuff. But I do like the new activity. We hopped into that. What do you think about that activity when you first hopped into it? The European Aerial Zone.
It's definitely a little weird. And not going to lie.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was weird too.
But I think it's a pretty good experience overall. Something unique and a little bit different than what we've had. Kind of combines basically, for me, like a public event and a small-timed PvE activity, the way it's set up. So I don't know. It's definitely a little different, and I think the rewards. I'm just obviously starting out, and I think a lot of people are on their green armor, like we saw last year, where you have to take the time to upgrade each individual piece. You have to be wearing it to upgrade it, and it's super focused on different activities in the game, and you get different packages as you're completing the AZ. You're getting keys as you're completing events, upgrading your armor. And I believe from what I've heard, and I think you might have told me this, Kingsley, is that the packages become a little bit more valuable as you level that armor.
Yeah, from what I've heard from others, that does seem to be the word on the street. Of course, you do have to open some for even your initial drained armor. I like the activity also. I mean, I'm glad we have this. Last year, we got the reprised story missions, and that was all right. That wasn't bad. This activity is pretty cool. The rewards in the activity aren't anything too great. I mean, you do need to run the activity to get the boxes that you can open up for, quote, loot that you may want that gets better over time, but also some requirements. But then also you get the keys at the end. The keys is like not worth it at all because you can just get those keys everywhere, doing public events, doing strikes. They drop like rain, like crazy. So don't worry about doing the new activity just for the purpose of keys. But it's a fun activity, and when I first hopped into it, I was pleasantly surprised with how large the space is. I mean, we're still getting lost going around. You see the little marker on the map of where the target is that you have to take out before you get to the boss. And you're like, oh crap, where is he? Is he like halfway up the building? He's on the roof. You have to just kind of figure out how to get to them. And did you know you can jump from roof to roof? It kind of seems like it's Assassin's Creed. I was having fun, especially in the southwest corner. Like when you first beam in, if you're looking at those buildings to the left, you can just like jump from rooftop to rooftop and just kind of have fun. There's a lot of verticality in the game, which is fun because I don't think there's that many places in the game so far where they've really had like a bunch of rooftops you can jump from just for quite a while.
Yeah, not like that. Because once you get up there, they are adequately spaced, but not enough for you to not be able to make the jump. You can jump, like you said, from building to building and basically see over the entire play area.
Mm-hmm. And then the chests are funny how they bring them in at the end. They'll kind of show you a little teaser of where they're located, and you kind of have to like look around quickly and memorize where they are and run to them. And then if you don't catch where they all are, you just have to explore around. And then at the very end, when you have 8 seconds left, it'll show you again where they are. But like, what good that is, you can't get the rest in 8 seconds unless you happen to be on top of one.
It is a little disorienting for sure.
Some cool bosses. They brought in I don't think it's necessarily the exact same boss, but the Broodhold Strike, that's the PS4 exclusive for Forsaken.
It is almost identical, the way they interact.
Yeah, the way they interact, and it could be, but I feel like the name is a little bit different. But forgive me if I'm wrong on that, listeners. But it's cool where it's the same gameplay where that witch splits in half, and there's like a light side and a dark side, and different attacks that she does, and then you have to take her down kind of a very specific way. And so that could be especially fun for people on Xbox or PC that haven't had an opportunity to do that strike yet on the PS4 side.
Right.
And then we brought back what's the name of the servitor or something 12, and then you destroy it and it splits into like smaller ones, and you kill those and they split into 4 smaller
the
ones.
Mini servitors.
Yeah. And then the little baby servitors. You have to kill them all. It's fun. Yeah, we'll see like how long it lasts. I mean, this activity, there's not too much of a reason to go in just on its own. And then there's so many other things we have to do to level up our armor that there's not tons of times where we go in compared to all the other things they require us to do. Now, I have some minor complaints. I'm not like all salty or whatever, but I feel like this Summer Solstice event is just really just duping us again, like just trying to get us in a way to like, oh, we're so excited. Here's something to do. Everyone's like grinding for all this stuff. It's fear of missing out. It's like, oh, it's 2.0 armor. We better get it because we'll be that much ahead of the game, I guess, come September 17th, which how do we even know if we're going to want this armor? There might be other armor we get that's better that just drops right away. But you know what I mean?
Something easier to get because this it is a daunting task. Like I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
You have to get bounties. You have to get certain types of kills with a different type subclass. You need like multiple gambit matches, multiple strikes, multiple crucible matches. The bounties rotating with the different burns. It is very, very overwhelming. And that's just the green set. I heard the blue set is even worse. And that's what, the middle tier?
Yep. Actually, the last tier looks the most interesting to me, to Masterwork, because then at least you do interesting things like a 2-man Shattered Throne, and you do a 200k Nightfall or whatever it was. You know, just interesting things, not this stupid grind stuff that I don't know. It's fine. I'm probably going to do it. I'm not like, again, this isn't like some big complaint, but it is a issue that's been bugging me. And like, seriously, 10 strikes. It's just like I'm falling asleep doing them. I don't feel like doing 10 strikes again. And yes, it goes better with the crew, but then here's the other issue. And I remember all of this from last year too. Unless the people you're playing with are on exactly the same step, you're always running into issues because someone needs to do strikes. Someone else has to do crucible. Everyone's on different steps. And then if the buddy you're playing with hasn't done strikes yet, you're like, I don't want to do 10 strikes again, right? It's like there's just so many things that have to match up perfectly for it to work out well.
Yeah, definitely. You can't rely really on other people because of that. It seems like
it's probably best not to. It is good to play with someone else because it makes it less boring. But yeah, you don't want to rely. You want to do it on your own. And I did all this last year, and I remember telling myself like, it wasn't really worth it. I mean, I still have the most fun in the game when I'm raiding and doing these other activities. And yes, the armor looks a little bit better this year, and the glow looks cool. And again, I'm probably going to go for it all, but definitely only on one character. I'm not going to be grinding all three.
Yeah,
you have time for that, Sin? You're going to grind all three?
No, thank you. I don't even have enough time as it is to catch up. I spent I got home last night early-ish. So let's say 10 o'clock, 10:30 I was on probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I even streamed last night and spent 3.5 hours roughly grinding.
Yeah, time.
And that's even multitasking, doing forge runs that I'm behind on for the triumphs, the Moments of Triumph seal, catching up on the EAZ, which I haven't had a chance to play at the beginning of the week, and doing all those little things there, and still catching up on the chalice upgrade that I need. I still have reckoning stuff to do. There's really a lot to do if you want to be a completionist or have that type of mentality. There is right now so much to do.
Yeah, and that brings up interesting points too. First, on this Summer Solstice, I know some people don't feel stressed about it. You have all month to do it. I mean, that's true, of course. Again, I'm not feeling stressed about it myself. I'm just feeling like, ugh, really, all this stuff. I have, luckily with my schedule, I have fair amounts of little play times during the day here and there, at night, whatever. I can probably, I haven't even been hitting it that hard, and I can probably get my complete set maybe within a week's time. I don't know how long it's going to take for sure. Although, no, I definitely don't have a 2-man or a 1-man Shattered Throne done yet, so I'll have to wait for whatever that comes around, which is this coming week, I hear. But like you said, Sin, and you like to hit it hard at times because you don't have as much playtime all the time, but we're hopping in there for three hours or so, and what would you say? You got it about halfway done, you think, for the first set?
Roughly about halfway done the armor, complete at 1, and I'm about halfway completed the helmet because that was the easiest. And then, halfway or so done with the other ones.
I mean, I guess that's not in the scope of playing Destiny. I guess if you could say, okay, 6 hours for one armor set, maybe another 6 to 10 for the next one, because I hear the next one's even more. And then the last one, I bet you could do in less time because it's just, they're more complicated ones. They're not necessarily as grindy. So yeah, all that said and done, I mean, I guess it's not a crazy amount of time, but if people can't hop on a lot, they could run into issues. Like if people are wanting to play this in a casual way and they don't plan it right, they could find themselves coming up on week 3, and even though they're like, well, I hopped on for an hour or two here and there, shouldn't I be pretty close? Because I was playing the game 2 hours on a Wednesday night and 3-4 hours on a Saturday, but then I didn't hop on again for a whole another week. But then they're like, oh crap, I didn't do the Shattered Throne or something. And it's like, yeah, you might be out of luck then.
Yeah, timing is going to be everything during this event for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have that, I think with 3-week rotation on the Shattered Throne, if you don't do it next week, you're pretty much SOL to complete it.
That's what it seems like. We heard some additional news today how the Moments of Triumph is being extended, but the Summer Solstice event is not. It still will be ending in its normal time. So it does seem like there will be only one Shattered Throne week coming around. So, I mean,
keep up with it if you want it, basically.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It'll be fine. I'm mostly excited for more raids. Helping people with that. There's a lot of people still excited about getting Moments of Triumph done and hopping into all those. I've gotten everything done except for I need a few more Scourge completions to get that passed off.
I still need that Crown of Sorrow.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you don't have that pass yet. We'll get that for you soon. But I was able to get my first clear of Crown of Sorrow, which was pretty cool. And yeah, it's a fun raid. Finally, good to get that done. I mean, I knew I could have done it for a while, but just it's always hard finding a group to get through all the way. And the thing that I learned most about that raid more than anything else is it's not so much the encounters are hard, but on that last phase 2, you just really have to be on your toes with everything that's going on in the background and kind of juggling these things and have good spatial awareness of the arena and know how to pass the buff to other teams when they run out. Like we have to punch the deception that comes so that you can take down, you can pause him and then the big Garan can, swipe him with his sword. But once you do that, the person who's empowered loses his empowerment, and then you need someone else from another team to shoot over to your vessel so someone can get empowerment again. And all this is going on with crystals and other ads going around. Really need to, and chatter gets in the way too. So you just really need to have like a system where people can quickly think on their toes and know that another team that's not even your team is calling for empowerment, and you have to shoot a vessel to give them that empowerment while not dying on your side. So once people can get that down, then the raid's pretty doable. We saw the gold standard's 1 phasing it, but the 2 phasing's perfectly fine. You just don't want to do a 3-phase damage on the boss because then it's too dangerous. You're probably going to deal with enough deaths where you may not have enough tokens to revive.
Yeah, and especially with people that aren't comfortable through it, you get too many deaths, and then if you get them in the first phase and you get them in the second phase, you're done for.
Yeah. And you know what to do in the counter for the most part also. So we just need it. We'll get a group together. We'll get that going. But it's time of year where I've been enjoying getting more people interested in raids again. And we've had a lot of great people join our Discord recently and people getting interested in raiding groups. So we really appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's fun getting these groups going and knocking out all these raids. That's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of great feedback. And that's one thing we've always been big into was the raiding aspect of it. So we're going to get a lot more people on board with that.
Speaking of raid, we had some news today, and this may seem like jumping around a little bit, but it came with other news, which we can go into for a second, but in a second. But they gave the name of the new raid in Shadowkeep. It is called Garden of Salvation. So when we shorten that, it'll be GOS.
And I missed that in the little bit of news that I was able to catch up on today. Garden of Salvation. Did they tease any location information?
No, but we already know it will be involved with the Black Garden. So unless this is some different Black Garden than we already know, it's, how we get to it, who knows? Because, originally we got to the Black Garden through Mars, but it was a different Mars in D1 area than our Mars area in D2. So but that was just a portal anyways, but we know it has something to do with the Black Garden. And the speculation is for the raid part, even though Shadowkeep is heavily hive-based on the moon, the raid will actually be Vex enemy type is what we're up for again for this raid. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. And the raid will be coming out Saturday, October 5th. Now, the reason why it's Saturday, October 5th is because today we were given a huge news item that Shadowkeep has been pushed back 2 weeks. So instead of September 17th, it's coming out October 1st, just 2 weeks later. Not a huge deal. The community has taken it very well. It makes perfect sense that developers, Bungie, they wrote us the communication's excellent. They say, we're just planning this, it'll work better. We just want the game to be in a good state. Just timing with everything will be so much better. They didn't give all the reasons, but some people are also speculating so that it'll compete a little less with Borderlands 3 that's coming out September 13th, I believe, on that. And all in all, I'm sure that Bungie just made the decision for whatever reason, to fix some more bugs or whatever, that October 1st was going to be a better date. And
I'd imagine the Borderlands part is probably one big reason. And
I think so, but yeah,
being behind probably pushed them over the edge. So yeah. It probably just was another reason if they were a little bit behind.
Yeah, and they would have to just be a little bit behind because I know the way this is only 2 weeks, so not a lot can get fixed in 2 weeks. That would just be like a fairly small list of bugs, maybe a little bit more quality assurance things that can get fixed last minute. But this is fine, perfectly fine. It makes sense. They told us what's going on. They gave us information on what's happening with the raid. It'll come out the weekend after that on Saturday, and they're going to have the contest mode again. But also in the news, they said that Moments of Triumph will be extended. So that's pretty cool, especially for people that need Crown of Sorrow completion. You'll have some extra time in all your tributes and all those triumphs. You just won't have extra time for the Summer Solstice event. So again, I feel like when this is all said and done, our Solstice armor, it's kind of funny how that's going to be ending even sooner than the main game. And we're going to be looking back, mark my words, we're going to be looking back, when the Summer Solstice event ends, we're like, was that all worth it? And then we're going to be, still working on Moments of Triumph some more and getting excited for Shadowkeep. Anyways, let's see. Oh, yeah. And also the news about crossplay. We should have more information on some big details next week, with crossplay probably coming in by the end of the month. Cross save. Thank you.
That is huge, actually, and ahead of the actual original September release date, now October release date. That is huge. It puts people like us in a little bit better position to be able to play with more people. In the meantime, people who are playing on PC, we can start that cross progression and cross saving now and enjoy it on the places where we already own the game.
Yes, exactly.
I'm glad they're actually making a push to do that first, especially with the hardware and basically software and technology capabilities being there now. I'm glad they're making a push to go ahead and release that, rather than holding off and just saying, well, you get it when you get it.
It really makes sense for multiple reasons. And also, they are smartly understanding that the more things you try to release exactly the same time, the more things that can go wrong. So, you might as well have this cross save, cross progression come sooner. Why not? And then we can test it out. And even if there's some minor problems, it's not that big of a deal because Shadowkeep isn't even out yet. So we can't complain that much. And then we'll get it solved. We'll get it worked out. And then it'll be all good by the time Shadowkeep comes. But yeah, I'm excited, Sin. I mean, we're going to potentially be having our good PS4 character over on the PC with all our gear that we have. I can do Crown of Sorrow right over on PC because it's the only one I can't do over on PC.
Right. I wonder how that's going to work, if they're going to allow the weapons that are PS4 specific now be accessible on PC ahead of the launch of Shadowkeep.
Yeah, good question. I would guess probably, but who knows? Yeah, on that. So yeah, I'm excited to hear more on that. So that was some big news that came out today. And one last thing on the news on all that came with it in this week at Bungie was some more announcements of, I don't know if buffs are the right word, but some changes that they're making to close out the season. Now, did they say when this update's coming out? Update 2.5.2.2. There'll be a pretty big list of quality of life updates.
Oh, I missed that then.
Yeah, I'm pulling it. I have pull up the 12 if you want, but I have it pulled up myself. And now, hopefully, no, that's definitely not going to be the update that comes with Shadowkeep. That's got to be before. Let me see. Maybe it's August 27th is when this update's going to come out.
Just ahead of you're just at the end of next month.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I feel like they might have told us somewhere, or maybe they don't know the exact date, but with this next update, here it is. It's in the graphic above it. September 3rd, it looks like. They say September 3rd through the 10th, but the update obviously doesn't mean for like a whole week, so it's probably coming out September 3rd. So we basically have the whole month of September, which is nice. So let's go through this chart first. So September 3rd, we are getting an update. Okay, sorry, back up. All right. Okay. Solstice of the Heroes for sure ends August 27th. Okay. Got that? Check it off. Be done by then. We are getting another Iron Banner that starts August 27th and goes through September 3rd. Then September 3rd, we are getting this update 2.5.2.2, which I will go through in a second, of some pretty great things are coming with it. Then we have Moments of Triumph Week, September 10th, whatever that means, but also an Infamy boost. Okay, and that goes through the 17th.
I think that coincides with the 17th being the last day for the Moments of Triumph.
Yeah. And then another Iron Banner, September 17th through the 24th. And then the last week for year 2 of Destiny, September 24th through October 1st, we get Mayhem, a Valor boost, and an Infamy boost for that week. So that's pretty cool. They gave us another little map of what's coming up. Now, okay, so the update 2.5.2.2. Okay, we know Moments of Triumph has been extended. Okay, the next buff we will get, Gambit Prime and Reckoning weapon reward rates will be highly increased. They will also have bad luck protection to guarantee a drop after a set amount. So I hadn't really cared as much about the weapons that came from Gambit Prime and Reckoning, but I've heard from others that it is kind of a crappy situation. They haven't been dropping that much. So this will be a good update. And on top of that, Reckoning difficulty will be tuned to be more welcoming as you hunt for rewards. This could be huge, right? This is another complaint that people have right now, where Reckoning can be pretty hard to pass still, because of especially that Bridge of Folly area, where you just get booped off and you don't have a chance to get it going again. Here's an oldie but goodie one, I guess. Braytech schematics will no longer have a daily lockout and will give better chances towards weapons that players do not own. Okay, anyone trying for their Wayfarer, will be the time to do it.
That was one thing that frustrated the living daylights out of me.
Right?
When I was on my Wayfarer chase, was having to go, because I remember seeing a Reddit post that you can only get one set of schematics to drop per day, is basically what they tested and found. So I was having to do them once per day. And the first day that I did that, I didn't know that. I dumped a ton of resonance stems to try to get schematics to drop. And then found out that it was do it once a day. But then I finally got the last item I needed off that checklist to get Wayfarer.
Here's a really interesting one. Mountaintop and Wendigo Pinnacle quests will become more accessible. Whatever that means. Specific quest objectives will be tuned based on player feedback. Okay.
I wonder what that really does mean, though.
Yeah.
Maybe have a PvE quest to it versus a let's get crushed in Crucible for Mountaintop.
Well, this could be really good news for me, because the only thing that I may not be for my Moments of Triumph complete seal completion would be a Crucible Pinnacle weapon. So, I could probably do it, but now hearing this news, if Mountaintop's going to be easier, then maybe that'll be good news for me. So I think I might wait a little bit, especially since we know Moments of Triumph will be extended. And then there will be multiple weeks of increased Valor and Infamy forward to September. Iron Banner will be accompanied by increased Valor in each event. And as the season comes to a close, Menagerie chests will become more rewarding as fit. Wow, are they actually listening to us on this, and they're going to make more Menagerie chests again?
That would be an interesting going back to the way things were kind of deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to take some community feedback with having maybe a chest per encounter if you don't run them to expiration, or maybe flawless rewards. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows on that. And then one thing they put at the end here, which is actually backs up to the first week, but on the week of the update coming out, we'll be hosting a community challenge of sorts. Stay tuned for more details. So whatever that means. So a fair amount of news today. I remember seeing the Discords blowing up throughout the day.
I think blowing up is an understatement.
They were on fire. And we've had a lot of people join our Discord and clan lately. We appreciate the discussion lately. It's always pretty cool when you have a group the size we do. I believe there's about, how many members in the Discord? It was like 80-something last I checked. We're getting close to 100. And
almost cracked that mark. Almost.
Yeah. And for how many we have, it's very lively. I've been in bigger discords that
Or
sometimes
less.
don't talk half as much as we do.
Yeah, a little less lively.
Yep. But we can only do that with all of you, so thank you very much. We really appreciate that. What else did we do this week? You certainly hopped on for something, right? Sam? Did we do any raids the weekend before or anything like that?
Scourge,
Yeah.
Saturday
Scourge or
night.
Scourge.
And we
Saturday
did
night.
the strat with the Outbreak Perfected.
Oh yeah. How did that work for us?
It was a little awkward at first, but we didn't one phase him, but a couple attempts we were able to two phase him.
Yep. And we got it done.
We was getting the rhythm down. No anarchies rewarded this time, but still a lot of fun. And that was really the only encounter I think that gave us issues was that last one.
Yeah. So I think the way it works with these weapons is you always get it the first or second time. And then as long as you're in the group with us, no one ever gets it forever until you're not in the group with us.
Man, I'm okay with that.
We know a guy who plays on PC, and he finally got 1,000, voices on PC. Even though he's good.
Yeah, is that Rob or Ferg?
Ferg, and he's going to be using his PS4 character in the migration, even though he plays on PC lately. But we were doing a PC raid with just some buddies, and so he joined up, and he, of course, gets it on PC, even though he raided like that raid many multiple times.
30 or 40 times roughly?
Probably.
Oh man, I couldn't imagine. That was my Osprey grind. I don't use really the 1K or the Anarchy, so for me, having them doesn't do me any good. Although I should probably try them a little more so than I have.
Anarchy can be good.
Yeah, sometimes.
I got some cool weapons this last little bit that I've been wanting to talk about. I finally got a Swarm of the Raven roll, and big deal. I know a lot of people have that, but I was hoping for that. And I played a fair amount of Iron Banner the last week, and that was one of the reasons why I had some fun in Iron Banner. It was kind of cool this time around. For two reasons. I mean, again, I was trying for that Swarm roll, and I finally got one with Spike Nades. I didn't get it with Field Prep also, so that's unfortunate, but do what you can. But I've been having a lot of fun with my Arentol fusion rifle. You've been getting killed by those in the Crucible.
I've gotten them a couple times. Here the other night, I was getting destroyed by Ganora's axe, which I believe is a shotgun from Iron Banner. And that was super annoying because the distance on that guy's particular roll was crushing me at distances I didn't even think I could have gotten killed at. And somehow around the corner seemed like longer than it should have been. I was getting one-shotted.
Yeah,
that was frustrating.
And wait till you see Arentol get you from like sniper distances, then you'll really be frustrated. At least there's only two rounds and
right
when you start.
I'll just keep using or trying to use sniper.
Yep. But I have Arentol roll with all does a good job of melting people. Fusion rifles have always worked for my play style in the Crucible. But that and still working on for my primary, like either Outbreak or Suros or some other primary. Don't have the Catalyst yet. I know we joked about that, but maybe I'll get
You've been playing enough Crucible, you've been close.
I've been playing a lot more lately. Who knows? I might even go into comp some.
Okay, well, you can get good at that and then carry me through it.
All right. But in 1 month, you see Kingsley never raids it. Comp. Yeah, right.
Spoiler alert.
It's not going to happen. And you've been rocking your Astro controller. So still enjoying that?
Still been enjoying that. I've been playing back and forth with the hair triggers. Definitely not on my aim down or the Sparrow. Hair triggers, you had mentioned have some issues during Sparrow launch or Sparrow acceleration.
And
rocket launchers. It just doesn't work. So I don't use it with my left. I haven't been using rocket launchers. I've been basically using the machine guns, heavy machine guns.
Yeah.
But the using the hair trigger for shooting has definitely made a difference. It's way more responsive. And I feel that helps you get a little bit more of a jump especially in Crucible when every microsecond matters.
Yeah, pretty good controller. All right, what else do we have to talk about this week? Nothing else. Let's play the game.
I mean, a lot of things are just right now. Everybody's knee deep in the grind for armor. People like me that's so far behind, catching up on the last few weeks for Moments of Triumph seals, and then trying to balance that and trying to maximize time while doing it on top of the solstice.
It is crazy.
You know, I mean, the news definitely was huge today, which I'm glad we waited to record for that. That alone made it worth it, because otherwise we'd be releasing a little bit longer and having to talk about that a little bit longer away from, and then having to talk about it makes it a little bit more outdated. So definitely great recording this late. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. You know,
yeah, we just
tackled raids, we tackled in-game pursuits, gained some clan members.
Yep, had some fun all around.
Yeah,
we have many things to look forward to these upcoming. Like I said, we'll have some great guests coming up, some great fun times in the game. Maybe the month of September, I will take off of Destiny and play Borderlands. No, I won't take the whole month off, but some things to look forward to.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Well, spoiler alert. I'm still playing Destiny. All right.
Handsome Jack Hub podcast or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know, right? Doesn't look like we have any iTunes reviews this week, so we will go on from there.
Do I have to become man-at-arms and just make one episode explicit asking for reviews?
Well, if we need to. You know, we have lots of people that listen to the podcast, so you don't have to feel obligated to give a review, but it is pretty cool because they say that the more reviews you have, and not just like stars, but actually writing a review helps people find it easier that may not know how to find the shows. So if you don't mind taking a moment out of your day, we would much appreciate that. And we get to read it on the air. So you can say funny stuff in your review like, great podcast, guys. Kingsley's awesome. Sin, get kicked off. And we will read that.
Said everybody in the server.
See any other housekeeping items for this week? Going through my notes here. It doesn't look
Refer a friend. Share a podcast with a friend. Yes,
please do. Please do so.
I may or may not have stole that from somebody else. That saying. You know who you are. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, cool. Good fun week to talk in, and we'll definitely keep people updated next week. So
I guess the only other question is do we spoil who's coming down the road, or do we leave it up for imagination?
If you want to spoil it, you just got to be sure they actually show up.
I know. Wait a minute. Did Twitter change its look?
It did. Yeah, it's been doing that for the last few weeks, and some people have gotten it rolled out in different. So did you just get it yourself?
Yeah, it's the first time I've logged in. That's for another discussion.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But yeah, if you listen to this podcast and aren't aware of our Discord or a clan yet, feel free and join. The Discords are really a great. I mean, we talk like people know what a Discord is, but there could certainly be some people who are like, wait, what? You know, but it's just a chat app where you can talk with other gamer people. And we have our own room, our own community where you can come in. It's us in the Guardian Hub. You'll actually talk to me and Sin and lots of other great people in our clan, in our group, where we can just talk about the game. Totally chill. You can look for other people to play with. We promote all platforms, so PS4, Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, PS4, and PlayStation's the same thing. Sorry about that. And then we can just chat in there. And then also, of course, we have our in-game clan. That was the other thing I was going to mention. How did this get removed from my notes? So our clan, we've moved up to level 3 already. How long have we had the clan? Only a few weeks.
2 weeks,
2 or
maybe
3 weeks.
two
Yeah,
or
it
three
seems
weeks.
like we're kind of going about one level per week, which is pretty cool. Some people reported to us that they were already to level 3, and that's higher than they ever got in their previous clan. I guess they were just on level 2 forever. So
I couldn't imagine.
It just goes to show that we only have about 20 or so people in our clan so far, which actually is pretty cool. 25 is a fourth all the way to being full. So join now before we get full. We can always make
join now or forever hold your peace.
Forever hold your peace. But yeah, we're not here to say you must leave your clan that you're happy with. But
yes, we are.
This is a good group of people that we do the stuffs and we do it well. And there is that activity. I believe one of the stuffs for the blue armor is don't you need to do like strikes with clan members or something like that?
I believe so. If it's like last year, because I haven't gotten to the blue step yet, nor have I looked up any of the requirements for it. But if it is like last year, there was a requirement to be running activities with clan members or clanmates.
So do I have permission to wake you up at 2 a.m. while I'm still on the game and say, Sin, I need help running strikes?
I'm probably already up at that point, especially if it's Saturday night. Or I was going to say you could probably spam clan invites out to random blueberries like Bushman Bob. But
join the clan. Yeah. Oh, it's always funny. Well, that takes care of our housekeeping section. So before we close, if people want to find Mr. CYN, that's Sin, where can they find you?
You can find me first and foremost at the best hub on the net, the Guardian Hub, at discord.gg/little p, big X, little b, big N, 8, little j, little v. That is our Discord link. But you can also find me sometimes streaming at twitch.tv, Sin Media, Sin is CYN, and on Twitter. The new Bluebird layout at twitter.com/sin_media. Kingsley, take us away on this never-ending story.
I will. And in case you're driving your car listening to the podcast, you can't memorize that link, feel free. And not only do we put it in our show notes every week, but you can always go to our website at theguardianhub.com, which I always mention at the end. But on our website, to be more specific, we have an About Us section that you can click on and get more information about our Discord and the clan. So there you go. But anyways, yes, you can find our show at theguardianhub.com and on Twitter as The Guardian Hub. And I am Kingsley Mac, and you can find me as Kingsley Mac on PlayStation and on Twitch. And on Twitter, you can find me as MC Kingsley. So thanks for listening, everyone. We really, really, really appreciate it. And have a good week. Goodbye.
Goodbye. So I was totally thinking there in my head, as I was saying the never-ending story, and another spoiler alert, like, see, Stranger Things, when Dustin they show his girlfriend who's not imaginary. If you watch season 3, you kind of know what they allude to in the first few episodes about him talking about his girlfriend. And I think it was pretty much the last episode, he sings Never-Ending Story with his girlfriend over this long-range broadcast system. So
that's funny.
So I was thinking about singing that, but I'm not a very good singer.
Which one? Is it just where it goes Never-Ending? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, but it leads up. There's the build up or the other part of the verse